Hello and welcome to a sober Christmas Eve on the EMBN.
Speak for yourself, Steve.
It's the first and last day of the year. As you can see, we've made an effort on the EMBN show. What have we got today, Don?
Well, as it's the last show of the year, we'll be talking about our favourite bikes and kits and videos and all our favourites of the year. What do you mean first and last day of the year?
Well, it was my last day as an X-year-old and it's my first day as a other X-year-old.
Oh, really?
It's my birthday.
Is it?
Yeah.
Big one?
Can we take that? No, it's not the big one. Can we take that Christmas tree down? See, that's the problem, right? What I try and avoid every single year is Slade. Because my birthday is pretty much Slade for the last 40 years. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah. Anyway, enough about that.
What's your favourite Christmas song? Bit of Mariah.
What's our favourite bikes? Let's start off with our favourite bikes of the year. I mean, I guess there was a couple of major players,
The
right?
most talked about bike of the year, Amflow, gotta be Steve, and the DJI Avanox unit.
An incredible bike in so many ways. You know, wireless Bluetooth remotes, super fast charging, touchscreen display. I mean, a bike which offered 120 Newton meters, 1,000 watts peak. It's not, for me though, they made a beautiful trail bike, but for me, it's what it allows more than just the numbers. What it gives you is momentum. So the video myself and Louis did in Tuscany, like to be able to get up some of those incredibly technical climbs.
Yeah,
it actually starts the sport. It arguably starts the sport of taking bikes up mountains, which hasn't been a case so far.
I completely agree, but also what amazed me was the average speed along the flat and on technical kind of non-crazy uphills, just you kind of messing around and you just buzzing along at a certain speed. Yeah. So it is rightly so been talked about a lot.
So on that note, this might be a curveball for you.
I've seen the list, Steve.
On my second highlight, I think, of the year, which is actually the Neuron Fly.
A Canyon lightweight trail machine. Another trail machine.
Bosch SX. It is and do you know what?
A different flavour to the DJI bike.
And there's a reason for this, is that I rode this Neuron Fly in Coed-y-Brenin, which is where you rode the DJI.
Yeah.
It's one of the UK, well, it actually is the UK's oldest trail centre. Maybe it's one of the world's oldest trail centres. It's a narrow bead of surface trail with great flow to it. Most of the climbs are actually forest tracks. And it's a 140mm travel bike, right? And it weighs in about 19 kilos. But I rode it with super skinny, low-profile tyres, and the sensation of riding that bike, a light bike down well-groomed trails, surface trails, was just immense.
You forget.
And I don't think I'd choose any other bike.
So you forget how good trail bikes are in the right situation.
Exactly.
You think, I'm a bit undergunned, but actually, in the right situation, they're brilliant.
The thing is, the DJI Amflow, right? To get the most out of that bike, you should really be fitting heavy-duty, soft compound, big, thick casing tyres on it to be able to use it on technical climbs. The problem, if you've got soft compound, big volume tyres, you don't get that same sensation on trail centres.
You lose the, a nimble sort of...
It is just a feeling, right?
Yeah.
I guess the argument for that is you probably could put thin tyres on the DJI bike as well. But then you wouldn't be able to do the technical climbs.
Yeah, true. Well, now we're going up the scale to one of my favourite bikes here, the All Bear Wild, which is a big bruiser. Is it 170, 180 fork?
A bit like yourself.
Exactly, massive bruiser. And it is a really good fun bike that has got all the sorted kit on it. It's got the Bosch CX new motor. It's a lovely looking bike that is built for going down hills fast. But actually it's their enduro race machine, or was.
See, here's the thing, right? New Bosch motor, incredibly well-evolved version of the CX. I absolutely love it. And I also love the All Bear Wild. But why would you choose the Wild over the Rise? Because the Rise is also a fantastic bike. You know, the LT version in aluminium at a great price, any spec and colour you want.
Well, I've ridden both bikes quite a lot this year, actually. And I've got the Rise LT in carbon. And it, again, going back to the...
You have got some kind of shed, haven't you?
Yeah, I have. And that is a brilliant trail bike. And that's running that Shimano motor.
Actually, do you know what? Can I stop you there?
Yeah.
How come you've got so many e-bikes in your shop?
Well,
They only been working for GMBN for like 10 years.
I've been stocking them up where I can and enjoying riding the different characteristics. That's the RS 801 with the option to run it full power, which actually I don't. I run it down at the, was it 55 or 60 Newton meters, I think. So yeah, two different flavours of the same thing, really.
Yeah, I think, the fact, even the Rise is podiumed at World Cup level.
Yeah.
I'm going to add this bike, the Kelly's Theos F100. It's the bike which I've done the biggest range on. It's got an 825 watt high energy density battery on it. It's 21 kilos and it's a 140, 150 mil travel bike. And this is the key thing, which lots of people forget, is that a bit like the white E-Lite Evo, they're bikes which have got really good suspension design with a shock tune that's there to match, really good stiffness to flex balance on the frame, great geometry. And even though it's got 140 mil travel, like the white E-Lite Evo, you can absolutely hammer these bikes.
Well, some bikes just seem to nail everything. Like you say, the suspension, the geometry, the support, motor and the weight all comes together as a package. And some do it way better than others.
And some 140 bikes, they're more cross-country bikes than trail bikes. Whereas, but these bikes I just mentioned, they're more enduro bike than trail bike. On the range, I rode that bike in turbo, and I'm 95 kilos, and I got 42 kilometers and 1,700 meters.
Ooh, that's a lot of meters.
Yeah, in turbo on one battery. So there's a few bikes for you then, folks, to consider maybe for the year ahead.
Top location, Steve, I'm looking at you on this one because I am new to the channel, of course, although I've done a fair bit.
Oh, you're new, but do you know what? I'm thinking about locations. We should go back to where we started the channel back in 2017.
Remind me, Steve.
Do you remember you've been to that many places since then? We actually went to Alicante.
Oh, yeah.
So we went to Alicante to launch the channel back in 2017, although it wasn't actually live until January the 1st, 2018. We went to this location where there was a peak with a flag on the top, and our production director was late to the shoot. And we said, can you bring some snacks up? Do you remember?
Yeah.
And he comes sweating up the hill with these bags from the shop. Do you remember?
Vaguely.
He's like, because we were literally at the top of this peak. He goes, what on earth are you doing up here?
Yeah.
And it was pretty out the way, wasn't it?
I'm sure there's loads of good riding around now. I've done some other riding in some amazing canyons up there as well. So yeah, maybe we should investigate more. Top
location for me for the year. It's hard to beat. It really is hard to beat Finale because you've got techie climbs, which are great. Then you've got the beach. You've got great food, great hospitality from the likes of Enrico Guala and co.
A lot of riding.
Insane amount of riding. But I think for me, Valmyra was a highlight this year, which is pretty much 2 hours north of Finale in like the border between France and Italy.
Oh, wow.
No way marking, all single track, goat track, sheep track, high altitude, 8, 9, 10,000 feet, beautiful backdrops. Yeah.
Great.
Okay, accessories.
Yeah, I see you've written electric pump. You're talking.
I saw these pumps. I've seen these little electric pumps.
They're taking the world by storm, these things, because I know loads of people have bought them.
But apparently they're like about this size, and you can pump 3 29-inch tyres up with one charge.
Never tried it myself.
I mean, so you don't have to take any pumps or CO2 cartridges.
Take any air with you. You just use the air that's around you.
Yeah, I mean, for me it was great. I love my watch. I love my watch.
Garmin Phoenix.
I love my watch.
You pair it with your bike to change modes and give you...
Well, you can see your cadence on Shimano motors.
I actually have my elevation graph, so you can see the ups and downs in the middle, scrolling through as I ride.
That's a hell of a roller coaster in the Don's life, isn't it?
Yeah.
How's your knee?
That's all right. Yeah.
Since last week?
Yeah, no, not that much better since last week. About the same, actually.
Do you know my watch? I check I keep an eye on my wine consumption.
Do you?
Yeah, because my sister said to me, have you seen your sleep score when you drink some wine? It goes down. But then I keep an eye on my HRV, on like my heart rate, and I literally, for doing runs, to check the range in different weather conditions, different modes on all these different e-bikes. I think it's really interesting. We would just like to say a happy Christmas and a massive thank you to Lauren Jenkins, who's been the EMBN show editor for the past 18 months. Done a fantastic job. And all the best in your new role. We can't go into what it actually is. And you thoroughly deserve it. And like I said, thank you so much for all the hard work you've done. Oh my God, Don. Look what we're kicking off Cool Places with this week. Yant Flats.
Imagine having somewhere like that to go and ride your bike.
Oh my God, it's blown my mind.
This is Colin Smith, 32 miles, 4,000 feet of climbing to the local hiking spot in southern Utah.
Can we please go here?
Looks amazing, doesn't it?
Can we please go here in 2025?
I'm already making some post-Seattle plans where I want to go and do so. I want to go to Moab. I've never been to Moab.
You have never been to Moab?
Nope. I want to take an e-bike to Moab.
I've got an interesting story about travelling to Moab. We won't go into it on today's show.
Yeah, I've heard it. That's just why I'm going and you're not going. If I get the chance.
Okay, shut up. Colin. Colin, great. Beautiful, just beautiful. Next up, we've got Warjoy in the Czech Republic, right?
Boromovsky?
Yeah.
Czech Republic.
This is 2023 Focus Thron. Panniers, why not? I think a pannier trip, camping trips will be on the cards for 2025.
Yeah.
Jeff Morris, Orbea Roy's M10. Mount
Baker.
Constitution is on Orcas Island in Washington State. Mount Baker. Oh, I've been at Mount Baker.
You see Mount Baker from miles away, don't you?
I've been at Mount Baker.
Is that the one that you see from Vancouver when you land?
Yeah. Pacific Ring of Fire.
Yeah.
What an amazing area. Jeff, nice one. Nice to see there's e-bikes busy up in Washington State. PNW.
Yeah, well, now we're in Greece. This is Alkis, who's taken the mickey out of us with the weather and says, look at my picture from Greece. Got my first eMTB a few months ago, and it's been one of the best purchases I've ever made. This is Amaliada.
Well, here you go then. If you want to go to Moab, Don, I want to go to Greece on an e-mountain bike.
Sounds fair to me.
Come meet up with Phil Atwill on his propane.
Yeah, show you a thing or two, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I'm sure he would.
All right, into some feedback, and this is from Mr. Matthias03. He's talking about your interview with Darren Berraclough.
The Claw.
The free ride legend, talking about e-bikes.
First guy to 360 off a drop.
Yeah, done a lot of gnarly things, that guy.
Yeah, he has.
Mr. Mattis says, great interview, Steve. The number one thing that came to mind during your interview was we need an alternator of some sort to help extend the battery life during rides. Use the energy of the pedalling to recharge the battery or the energy of braking. What do they call that? Is that curves?
Regenerative.
In Formula 1.
Huh?
I'm guessing this is going to
curves.
add a lot of complications to things, but probably take away from the efficiency of the motor. I don't know what I'm talking about here, Steve, but it's possible.
I think what's really interesting is actually efficiency, because when you look at the fact that you can now have a Bosch SX at 55 Newton meters and a Bosch CX at 85 Newton meters, and you can actually get the same range with a CX or thereabouts than you can out of the SX with far less torque.
More efficient drive.
It's a more efficient drive unit, and I think if we get more efficient motors, that's the starting step, isn't it? Really?
And there's a lot of electric cars now. We can choose how much regen braking you do get, so it's possible.
The DJI bike, how fast did that charge for you? 800 watt hour battery.
So I didn't do it from nothing, but on the video I went from like 40% to 100 in less than an hour.
Well, there you go. It's a lunch hour charge, right?
Exactly.
So is all the added complication worth it when you've got batteries which are capable of being charged so fast, right?
Someone's now calling you out here. A Coloco Tronis says, Wikipedia states that you're 67 years old. Is that true? Well, 68 today, Steve. Or was that another? There's probably a few Steve Joneses in this world.
There's a few, isn't there? Right. I'm not even going to go into this conversation. No.
We can guess, can't we?
But what's the point? It's just what it is. All I know is that in the off-road team, I'm second only to you going down a hill.
Yeah.
I mean, after all, you are, a top 10 World Cup downhill racer.
Number one in the age range.
Who is?
You are.
And you consider yourself to be an average rider, which he is not.
There we go. Paul Medlicott wants to know about saddles. Which Ergon saddles we use? So more often than not on the e-bikes, it's one of these Ergon SME Mountain sports. However, I actually use the SM Pro saddle quite a lot. These eMTB ones are more padded, super flipping comfortable, these things, aren't they? Well, I use an SM Pro a bit as well, which is the mountain bike version.
Check out the video which Owen did on his visit to the Ergon factory. It goes into all the tech details because, you know, we spend a lot of time sat down on e-mountain bikes, as you will find out.
And it's funny enough, Ergon are based in Coblenz, aren't they? Same town as Canyon bikes.
Indeed. Now, the last question is, do you already own the best e-bike? This is a question we had on a video a few weeks ago. Lots of you got involved in the comments, and we do massively appreciate that, to get some feedback and perspective from you folks, including this one from CVA Elliott, who said, Mike's got 920 Genius G ride, which is now 3 years old with 7,000 kilometers. Riding it over that time holds up so well for all the same reasons that you have detailed about in your bike. So this was about the fact that my I haven't been drinking yet. My white E160, 26 kilos, aluminium frame, 29-inch wheels front and rear, worn out tyres, aluminium handlebars, no plastic bits in sight. Kind of goes against lots of marketing for e-mountain bikes at the moment. You know, it's not light. It hasn't got the MX wheel setup. It's got, but what it has got, it's got great geometry, great suspension design, great feeling. And yeah, I think what's also part of it, you know, people think that they have to have the latest and greatest with a new motor, plastic frames, you know, carbon wheels, all these kind of things, electric shifting. You don't need all those things, do you?
And some of the advantages of the weight that we can gloss over, like momentum and the handling and the grip. If you've got the brakes and the tyres to match the weight, it's not necessarily a disadvantage.
Will you be putting on weight now you're on the EMBN channel?
We'll see. Well, I mean, Christmas is here, so we'll see. We'll see what happens in January.
Right, bike vault time done. Jeremy, second chance, uploaded a picture of this bike a while back.
Yeah.
And Steve didn't want to give it a super nice, but Anna had the bell.
It's a Rise. I like the colours on the Rise as well. It's good looking bike, that. And this looks like France to me. It says stop. Does arrête mean stop in French? I don't think so.
Arrête. It's not sure Welsh. It's a super nice, Jeremy. Christmas super nice. And so too is this from Dave. This is
Axide.
Yeah, this is in Singapore. The #1 and only legalized eMTB. Love it. Nice one, Dave. What about teeth then? This is near, it's called Bantal Waterfall. This is
Canyon Strive.
Canyon Strive. Come on.
Good, super nice.
Super nice. Rigus.
Rigus, what?
Scott.
Is that Scott? I'm not. Oh, it is Scott, sorry. Yeah, it's got a Fox 38 in front. It's a 910 Scott.
What do you look like? What does the Don look like with glasses on?
I won't be able to see it. I can't see.
Look, look. Look here.
These
yeah, actually glasses suit you, I think.
Safety glasses.
Kind of these. They're not safety glasses. These are 6 for 25 quid.
Very nice. Super nice, I think it is.
Right, and to round up the Christmas Eve sober EMBN show, although I'm speaking for myself, Alex Fayol, winner of Lord's World Cup 2017 on Polygon, I think, has been racing gas last few years. This is him out with Tsuki.
The polar bear, by the looks of it.
Tsuki. And then this is Alex Medina MTB. Quédate con los trails MTB que te hagan decir yuhu.
That's what I would have said as well. That looks technical and rocky. I know where it is. Tight as well, actually. Like, look at that.
That does look nice. Do you know what? That looks like a trail I rode. Anyway. What about this then? From Reno Mojitano. Laura's certainly got a Spanish kind of French vibe going on today.
This is over 1,800 metres altitude, bombing down the snow, just waiting for the front wheel to dig in and go over the bars. But look how fast going at 47 kilometres an hour there.
Great, love it. And that's it. That's it for the EMBN show from Christmas Eve. It's time now to go and get some creamy Guinness.
Yeah.
Have a great Christmas, folks. Have a great Christmas. The Don.
Cheers, Steve.
Louis.
Thank you.
See you in the new year.